After his daughter approached this donkey and hugged his face, something unbelievable happened. One day, they were spending some time together and the girl did something unbelievable in an abandoned farm. A donkey was found. The poor creature had been left there with injuries and untreated wounds. It was unclear how long the animal had to endure without any care or food. The people who found the donkey were upset by its mistreatment and immediately sought out help. The donkey, who has been given the name Socks, was moved to a place of safety. The Donkey Sanctuary in Birmingham had been offering support for donkeys since 1969. It took the donkey a long time for his physical wounds to disappear, and even then there would be glimpses of him struggling to balance. Even so, everyone who made the sweet animal saw how optimistic he remained in spite of his past. No matter what, Socks was like a beam of sunshine and his happiness infected all the people around him, in particular Socks. The friendship he formed with a young girl named Amber Ostwick. In June 2010, Tracy Ostwick gave birth to twins. Her daughters Amber and Hope were premature. Unfortunately, this led to complications regarding their health. Luckily for Hope, she was able to recover with no significant issues. Julian, the husband to Tracy and the father of the twins, couldn't stop worrying. Nevertheless, medicine and surgery has come a long way, especially within the UK. Amber received a tracheotomy that saved her life. She was born with bleeding in her lungs, and this procedure was successful in preventing air from reaching her vocal cords. Amber was able to breathe properly. While this was the most important obstacle to overcome in Amber's life, another one automatically showed itself. The tracheotomy may have gone well since it fixed her breathing, but it left Amber with the inability to speak. Julian and Tracy were gutted when they found out the doctors tried to give the new parents some hope regarding Amber's situation. After a few more years, it was possible that Amber could receive another procedure which may increase the possibility of her having a voice back. The chance was slim, but they held on to it. Although Amber couldn't speak, this didn't hold her back from enjoying other things in life. There were still things she could do or surround herself with. Something that she was particularly fond of was animals. Typically, people would associate small girls with kittens or puppies, considering that these types of animals are seemingly cute and harmless. However, the animal that stood out most to Amber were donkeys. Not too long ago, Tracy had heard that children with special needs could benefit from befriending a donkey. This may come as a surprise to some people, but these creatures are incredibly sensitive. Often they were welcoming to strangers and are gentle in nature. This is best shown through their behavior with kids. This is precisely why one day Tracy and Julian decided to take Amber to the Donkey Sanctuary. The parents had done a little bit of research into the charity, but little did they know of just how important one of the rescues would become to their daughter. When Amber first walked into the sanctuary, she had her parents at each of her sides. She couldn't contain her smile. She was brimming with excitement. Soon after entering, Amber's attention was captured. There was a donkey in the middle of the barn. It had simple grey fur and was quite small. However, it was the only one there, and it was the first donkey that Amber had seen in real life. What made their first meeting even more touching was the fact that Socks was just as intrigued by Amber as she was with him. This was only the start of Amber and Socks' story. Since that day, Julian or Tracy would bring Amber to the sanctuary regularly, hoping that the research into donkey therapy would apply to their precious daughter. They wanted the best for her, and we're glad to see her smiling like never before. The little girl always looked forward to the next time that she could see her best friend. Unfortunately, the complications Amber received at birth left her with cerebral palsy. This meant that sometimes she struggled to move her body into the exact way she wanted. On occasion, people working at the sanctuary or even Amber's parents would assist the young girl as she rode a donkey. The visit to the sanctuary became more frequent, and everyone was happy to see Amber ride Socks like it was second nature. Little by little, Amber grew more confident in herself. The girl was moving in ways that were completely new to her, and she no longer felt held back by her physical condition. She may have been young, but Amber had an ambition that was greater than her years. She looked forward to each new day and was constantly in a good mood. While much of this happiness can be traced back to the support she felt from her parents and twin sister, the biggest factor could not be ignored: her closest companion. Months passed and the routine of bringing Amber to the donkey sanctuary continued. The time and effort Dad and his wife had spent caring for Amber, he was glad to see that there was another soul that valued her just as much as they did. After his daughter approached this donkey and hugged his face, something unbelievable happened. Amber spoke for the first time in her life. Amber heard a voice even more powerful than the act of speaking. Amber's choice of words was something that would stay in her parents' memory forever.